Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. So if you saw my last video, it was my reacting to my 23 books in 2023, and a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't watched that yet. I only read one book out of the 23 that were on it, and of the remaining 22 I only started like 3. So also, I apologize for the lighting. I waited until nighttime to film this, so it might be a little bit wonky. Dev's playing his little game over there, so it might change colors, but you know, I think it's fun. It adds to like a cozy vibe and atmosphere. But I'm really hoping that this year goes better, because I don't want to feel that disappointment that I felt in myself that I did when I reacted to that video. I felt so like ashamed. But a few people did comment and said that like TBRs change, our reading vibes and tastes change as the year goes along, so I feel a little bit better. Just like a little bit of a disclaimer, not really a disclaimer, but there are going to be a few repeats from 2023 because I'm still really wanting to read them. A couple of them I actually acquired since that video, so I physically have them now, so I feel more of a push to want to read them because I have them. You might be able to see what they are in the back, so I feel a little bit more inclined to read them, I guess. I am really determined to actually read them this year, so I don't put them on my 25 in 2025, which kind of like a side ramble. I can't believe that like 2025 is next year and we're already in 2024. Like, that just feels so futuristic and like gross. Isn't that weird?
How does that make sense?
What?
It's still 2023.
Oh, well, it's still 2020. Okay, the year that we're going into is 24. Another sidebar. It is so nice and satisfying that January starts on a Monday, because in my planner, I'm a Monday start girly, and I'm a Monday start like week at heart. So just knowing that like the year starts on a Monday just feels like it's setting us up for success, you know? It's just good vibes all around. Enough of my rambling. Let's get into my very long TBR of 24 books that I want to read in 2024. The first section we are going to be discussing today is new releases. I don't really have too many new releases because I honestly haven't really been keeping track of what's going to be coming out this year. I just kind of figure it out as it's like coming out, if that makes sense. One of them I thought was already out, but I was being extra and getting the samples on my Kindle like I do sometimes, and I saw that it was actually not out yet and it's coming out in September. So the first two are actually by the same author, and that is An Education in Malice, as well as Evocation by St. Gibson. I don't know if I said that second one correctly. I don't really know what any of these are. I don't know what these books are about, but I've been really interested in St. Gibson since A Dowry of Blood, which I haven't read that yet, but I really want to, and I've heard very good things about her writing, so those ones I'm really excited for. And then the next one is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Again, don't really know what this is about. I did know what it was about when I added it to this list, but as of right now, couldn't tell you what it's about. But Leigh Bardugo is one of my all-time favorite authors, and the only book that I read off of my list in 2023 for the 23 books was a Leigh Bardugo book. So I feel like with this one, we at least have a guarantee read, because if I go off the theme, I read at least one Leigh Bardugo book a year. So going off of that knowledge and that kind of like guesstimating, I will have one read, you know? The last one for new releases that I have is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison, saft or soft, but this cover is absolutely stunning, and I kind of forgot that like this was a book that I wanted to read until I was going through like my want to read list on Goodreads, and I saw this and it was so stunning, and I read the description and it's so good. I don't remember it right now. I'm very bad at giving like synopsis for books that I haven't read yet, so most of this is just going to be me telling you the books that I want to read. But if you want to know more about them, I will have the titles and like the authors in the description, because I'm horrible at giving descriptions when I haven't read the book yet. But yeah, that one I'm really excited for, and like just this cover, please, it's just so good. That is the one that I thought was already out, but I figured out that it actually come out in September. That is all the new releases currently that I'm excited for, and the ones that I'm planning on reading in 24. So now let's just move on to the series that I want to read. This is where most of the repeats will be happening. The first one that I'm very excited for, I actually just got these for Christmas. My boyfriend gifted them to me and I was appalled, and that is The Poppy War by Kuang. I do have all 3, as you can see, beautiful and stunning. So I'm planning on reading The Poppy War, The Burning God, and The Dragon Republic in 2024. These 3 I'm very excited to read. I have actually started The Poppy War, not like recently, but a couple months ago, I think in October, and I got a decent way through. I'll have to find my spot where I was. I think I was at the part where Rin was at the school. I don't remember exactly how far I made it into that, so I'll have to do some searching, but this one I'm so excited for. I've heard that it's like very, like, a lot of heavy stuff, and like it's a heavy book, so I'm kind of nervous to get more into it because I've heard that it's like kind of fun and games at the beginning, and then you're just something just get thrown at you, and then it just gets worse in the other books. So I'm excited for this one, and I am very happy that I finally actually have the physical books, because I can't even tell you how long I've been wanting to read this series for, and now I think 2024 is finally the year that we're gonna do it. Filming book videos is so fun, but normally the cleanup afterwards sucks because there's just so many books. It was even worse when I had like all of my books. There would just be a pile around me. Can you hand me a book?
No.
Because I can't reach it. This one. I'm so excited. This next series that I'm going to be talking about, I have talked about recently in I think my last vlog. This one, I'm really hoping that I finish this year, because there's a long story that goes with it. So that is the Raven Boys, the Raven Cycle series. So there are 4 books in the series. As you can see, I have all of them. My dad sent me my copies. I couldn't be more excited. I love this series so much, and I just want to finish it this year, even though I'm so sad that it's going to be over. I feel like the time has come, because I find myself always coming back and like thinking about this series and just like in love. Like, I'm in love with these characters, and like the story I don't really understand, but like it's a good time, and I'm constantly thinking about it, and I think that it's time that I finish the series and see how it wraps up, because I haven't made it to the 4th book yet. So we got the Raven Boys, the Dream Thieves, Blue, and the Raven King. If you haven't heard the story surrounding my time with the Raven Cycle, I am stuck in a cycle, basically. So I read the first book, I read it and absolutely loved it, but I didn't have the second book at the time, so it took me a little bit of time to pick up the second book, but when I picked it up, I felt like I didn't know enough about it, so I reread the first book, got halfway through the second one, and put it down, and then I remembered about the series again, so I reread the first book, finished out the second one, got halfway through the third one, and then I stopped there. So that is where we are at currently, but I feel like I don't know enough about the series right now to pick up from where I left off. So we're going to be reading the first book for the 3rd or 4th time, reading The Dream Thieves, getting caught up to where I was in the 3rd one, reading that, and then we'll be reading the 4th one. So it's been a cycle that we're stuck in, but I'm determined to break it, and I was reminded that there is a spin-off series following Ronin, so I will have more content. This one I have annotated, the second one I have annotated, the third one I annotated what I was at, so I'm very excited, and it's just gonna be such a good time. The last series that I have on this list is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I feel like everyone and their mother knows what these books are about. This was on my 2023 list. It was under the category books I totally should have read by now, but I have not read them yet, still. So 24 is the year that I'm going to do it. We got The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. So those ones, very high on my list, because it's about time that I read this series, and I've been feeling more inclined to do so since there's been so much hype around the new movie release for A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I feel like it's gonna be great. Oh wait, no, I lied. That is not my last series. I have one more. I don't know if it's actually split into 2 or if it's just one giant series. It's the Avatar Chronicles. I have it split into 2, but I think it's technically classified as 1. We have the Kyoshi novels, and then we have the Yangchen. So the first 2 books in the series are following Kyoshi. So the first ones are The Rise of Kyoshi, and then there are The Shadows of Kyoshi. So this is following like previous avatars from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is following Aang, but these are like his predecessors, the avatars that came before him. And I've heard really good things about these series. These are by FC Yi, by the way. These one I'm very excited for. I've been wanting to read them for a while, but with the new live action show coming out, I've been feeling more inclined to read it, because I feel like I just need all the Avatar content at this point. Like, just give it all to me. And I feel like I'll probably do like an Avatar reading vlog with these ones, because I feel like that would be super fun. So we got Kyoshi, and then we have The Dawn of Yangchen. So then there are 2 on her series. So there's The Dawn, and then there's The Legacy of Yangchen. And I'm so excited for these, and as I do these avatars, I'm really interested in learning more about like their backstory and just like how they were as avatars, because we've seen like little glimpses in the show of like how they were and like what they were like, but I'm really excited to learn more of their backstories and like who they were. The next category that we have is the first in a series, which there are only 2 books on this category, A Dowry of Blood. I have put this on so many TBRs. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, since it like before it was even traditionally published. I've been like very interested and just like drawn to the story. I have read the sample of this book like 2 or 3 times, but I haven't gotten around to reading the whole thing yet. I just have to bite the bullet and purchase the book and read it. But this is one that I really want to read in 2024, because it's just, I'm just really interested in it, and I've heard that it's really good, and like what I have read, it's just like chef's kiss. And all that I know about this book is it is following the wives of Dracula, and so many people that I follow have said that this is like their favorite, one of their favorite books of all time. So I want it to be a favorite of all time for me as well. So 2024 will be the year where we figure out, do I love it? Is it going to be a favorite? We will find out in 2024. The next one that is actually on this list is also a vampire story, Tale of Fragile Fate by Elsie Watson. This is actually by someone who I discovered through Twitch. She self-published this book, so I feel like not many people know about this book, but it's one that I'm so excited to read. And I'm just, yeah, and like, look at this cover too. Like, she's stunning. Look at her. She's gorgeous. I'm excited to read it and see what it's about. I know that there's vampires in here as well. That's all that I know about the story, but I'm really excited to read this. I feel like this might be one that I read soon because I do actually have the whole thing because it was free on Black Friday. So yeah. That concludes like the series portion of this video. The last 5 that I have are standalones. First one on the standalones list is actually a repeat from last year as well, and that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This one still has my interest, and I feel like this is just gonna be a year of R.F. Kuang books because we got the Poppy War and then we got Babel. This one I did start this year, but I didn't finish it. It's just one that I really want to get to, and I've heard so many good things about this book. So many people love it, and there's a lot of important topics and themes explored throughout this book, and I feel like it's just one that I really want to get to. I feel like I need the vibes of this in my life. Hi. Next one we have on this list I feel like is perfect for the October season, the October fall spooky season. I might get to it sooner, I don't know, but I did figure out that it is on Kindle that it is on Kindle Unlimited, which a lot of these books actually are on Kindle Unlimited, so I might have to get a subscription. But that is Slewfoot. I've seen it a couple times like physically, and it's an interesting shaped book because it's like a square. Like, it's not like your standard rectangle, it's a square, and I really want to read it. I don't know what it's about at all, but I've seen it in Barnes & Noble before, and I flipped through it, and it's beautiful because I think there's illustrations in it. This one has been on my radar ever since I heard about it, which I think was in 2022, around like the fall season. I was gonna get to it this year, but I never got around to it. But 24, I really want to be the year for this one. I keep saying that for every book. I'm just like, you know, I didn't get to it with them, but 2024 I will, which I really hope that I do. Hey, we got two more books. The next one that we have, I actually did pick this book up in October, and I was gonna read it, but I just never got around to it. But I did have it in my possession. I just didn't do anything with it. It just sat on the shelf until I had to turn it in. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I've been so interested in this book since I've heard about it, and it's a new release, so it's still kind of fresh to the world. I've heard that it's just so good, and it's about like a haunted house, but there's ghosts, and then there's like an academic rivalry, and it's just like, I feel like it has everything that I want in a book, like ghosts, rivalry, and like spookiness, and like, yes, this one is like high on the list, but I don't know when I'm gonna get to it because I feel like it's perfect for the fall season. But if I'm feeling the vibes of reading it, why should I wait till fall to read it? Because I could still enjoy it when I pick it up, you know? The last book that I have on this list, I actually have physically. This one I also feel like would be perfect for the fall season, but I'm really feeling like picking it up early January because I'm just feeling the vibes, and it's just even more stunning in person. Bandit's coming with us. He says, hey. Together we rock. And I'm so excited for this book. And like, look at this cover. You can't tell me that this isn't the most beautiful cover you have ever seen in your entire existence. Like, look at this masterpiece. I don't really remember what it's about right now, but it was really high on my list, and I feel like it will be like one of the first ones that I get to because I just feel so excited about it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I try to put Bandit back, but he's kind of fallen. So that concludes all of the 24 books that I want to read in 2024. I'm feeling very hopeful about these reads in the coming year, and I have it written down in a little notebook. So I do have it documented somewhere other than a video that I'm not going to go back and watch. I will be keeping an eye on this list and figuring out when I want to read these books so I can hopefully feel more accomplished by the end of the year. I am feeling very hopeful about this list. I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like most of these I will actually be getting to. So let me know what books you guys are planning to read in 2024 because I'd love to know. Let me know if you've read any of the ones that I've talked about, what your thoughts were on them, or should they comment? Fireworks? Okay. If you have made it to this point in the video, I love you so much. Comment down below the fireworks emoji because we gotta get hyped. We gotta get hyped for these books, and I feel like fireworks are going to set us off great. All of my socials will be linked in the description as always, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye! Stop. Oh, it didn't stop. Where's the